Hey. I see you, see double K. What's good? All right, let the chat room fill up a little bit, man. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it tonight.
Alrighty.
Feeling it tonight. Feeling it tonight. Yeah, we live. What's going on with you, see double K?
What's up, brother? Thanks for
See,
the invite to the live stream.
you gonna have to stop saying that. It's not an invite. Down with the groove, yo. Never forget that.
Yes, sir.
Don't just invite any damn body. Oh, I see the chat room filling up. We got 23 million people in the building.
23 million. Shameful.
Hmm. Yeah, hold on. Let me see what's going on. I can't even see it. Exit. Wonder why can you say it on YouTube?
Yes.
You can actually see it. You can see us.
Yes.
Why am I screen? It's crazy. Get this thing right there so I can get into a little bit of this and a little bit of that. With friends like these, who needs enemies? Mm-hmm. Three things I want to get off my chest. Um, yeah. Everybody pretty much know where I stand at. Not in high school, so I don't give out no passes. No need to. I see you, Sean. What's good with you, brother? Black African Power. Um, let me see. How do I get to this real quick? I ain't gonna be on extra long either tonight. Last night kind of wore me out. Please restart your computer. What do they mean restart the computer? Yeah. Ronald Dennis, what's good? Wrong man 773, what's good? Dr. Yaya, what's up with you? What's up, D? Dr. Yaya, my favorite. Yolanda, hey, you know what it is? What's up, family? Simply unique. I say that right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so um, if y'all can see me put one in the chat room, I can't see it. But you say you can see us though, right? ACK.
Yes.
You can see us on YouTube. You can actually see it.
Yeah. I have it pulled up on my tablet.
What if I can't see it? I'm gonna keep it like that. You can hear me, not see me.
Yeah, I can hear you but not see you.
You can see us.
You probably would have to scroll to the right and then enable the video.
But I ain't did all that. Enable the video.
Yeah.
Okay. No, they can't. Oh. Oh. Dang. Appreciate you.
So you did
don't,
what
you
I
come,
suggested and it worked,
don't,
huh?
don't you come on here with all that old young stuff. Don't you do it. God dang.
I mean, I'm starting to
Man.
get old. I'm just
Goodness
waiting for
gracious.
the
You ain't lying, man.
wrinkles.
Y'all see I got on my African elastic. Saying it elastic. Homeland Security shirt. Yeah, y'all know what it is, man. Wuja joint, man. Put that together, man. Yeah. Okay, so like, what's up, fam? Yeah, we had an interesting show last night. Uh to say the damn least. Yeah, Chief. I'm swinging at you tonight, Chief X. Yes, I am, bro. Yeah. You my man. And I really appreciate Chief X. He the wild card in all this. You know what I'm saying? Heart of a lion. You feel me? Yep. I ain't gonna take it from him. So I like to really start off with saying, what's good? CK, C double K. Yeah. Appreciate you being around, sis.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I'm saying it's hard to find a non-believers around here that ain't scared or spooked out. Non-believers even listening to goddamn gospel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, music is music. And I mean, people are going to find things that entertain them regardless.
Mm. So let me make this point. Y'all know the title of the show, with friends like these, who needs enemies, right? And I'm going to kind of segue into that. But that interesting conversation we had about gospel music. One thing I like about what I do, I can always go back into the conversation again, right? And get more insight on what I want to say. So most of the pseudos, after the first round, they done anyway. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no more ammo on the situation. So when you scientifically literate, you know what I'm saying, have a scientific mind, right? And you want evidence and all that, you can always go back and recheck, you know what I'm saying, to see exactly what's going on. So let's deal with the gospel aspect of it first. Let me give y'all a great example. Right? So when I decided to stop using drugs about 25 years ago, somewhere in there, right? The way I stopped was unorthodox. Sure was. Just like for a person that's a non-believer to be listening to gospel, that's kind of unorthodox. That's not something normally you would actually see, right? So when I stopped using drugs, right, I didn't stop hustling. You know what I'm saying? I actually picked up on my hustling. I actually picked up on, selling drugs. I did more. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And that's unorthodox. Okay? And I'm saying this to say, right, if I was in a group of people teaching them about how to recover from drugs, right, and alcohol, yes, alcohol is a drug. Huh? Yeah, alcohol is a drug. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in the room teaching some brothers and sisters, right, about my experiences and trying to keep them off of using drugs, right, I wouldn't say to them, y'all can stop on Sunday, on Saturday, chill on Sunday, right, and start selling drugs on Monday. I just wouldn't do it. Even though I could do it, I just wouldn't do it. What we got to understand is that this religion has been an integral part, right, of who we are as a people since we hit the shores of North America, right? And then they'll lead us to believe, or they'll say that, you know what I'm saying, we always had a religion in Africa. Yeah. So what I do know about all that, right? You can't classify all human beings and clump them together because the same way I'm sitting here saying a lot of that shit is a bunch of bullshit, the same way some of my ancestors were sitting there laughing at people. Shout out to MBK. He gave me a hell of a reference. I want to use that. He brought it out yesterday. We didn't get a chance to read it. To that point right there, right? So unorthodox would be the business of the day for me to tell people, right, that's freshly off of drugs and alcohol, that they should go start immediately selling drugs and alcohol. Y'all see that, right? Wouldn't advise it. Same with religion, right? We've been captivated since the day we was born. I think it was CK said we was all born non-believers, or we was all born atheists, or we was all born with a fresh mind with no beliefs on such God or none of that. That's what you said, wasn't it, TK?
Yes, sir. Definitely. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. One more
people
time.
We're trying to use some illogical,
TK.
Huh? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you cannot. Yes, sir. Me like we in the ring. Oh. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
I was saying that when I made that statement, some people tried to go the illogical direction, by saying that, hey, even though you just made that statement, someone had to teach you how to speak. Like, that was not the best of analogies to use. I mean, communication, that's very important, but these religious belief systems, they are not important, especially nowadays when we've came so far, I mean, and, I'm not, trying to knock people, hey, do what you want to do. I ain't trying to tell you to stop doing what you're doing. But at the end of the day, if there's deities involved, if there's some type of belief system involved, that means that shit requires faith. And once we start talking about faith, we're going down the realm of unscientific thought. And that's when all that pseudo belief starts to come in to play. And I say we don't need it. Never did, never will.
Yeah, especially right about now. But there's things we clearly understand and things we clearly know. Shit is kind of a little bit played and antedated, for what we doing right here.
And you know what? I just thought about something at the beginning of that stream yesterday. I said something that I think I ended up saying like multiple times, but I had said that it just seems like we can't do anything without religion or belief system being involved. Whether it's getting together, banding together, fighting back, protesting or anything. It don't matter. Pick something. It don't matter. It's like we can't leave that religion alone. We can't leave those beliefs. We got to have some kind of belief involved. And I'll even use an example that a true historian used. I mean, he was talking about various free African groups that came together to do a lot of important things that paved the way for us today. And they weren't getting together on some religion trip, but all of those people were involved in some type of religious organization. I mean, I'm not saying that, these religious groups that they didn't do some things that were good, I mean, but we can't ignore the bad. And at the end of the day, that stuff is still kind of held us back. And I think I'm being nice by saying kind of. And you know what? I want to bring up one more. Oh, can y'all hear me? Oh, my bad. Can y'all hear me? Hello? Oh. Uh-oh. Well, hey, chat, type one if you can hear me. I think we lost oh Lord. The gods have plucked him off the YouTube. You know what I mean? They said we can't be talking that atheist stuff up in here. Well, thank you everyone. You know, CK the Poet has taken over the YouTube channel. There's one thing that I wanted to bring up that somebody that was in the stream brought up yesterday. I never got a chance to bring it up because we kept going on a tangent, and then I never got a chance to speak again, and then it was just too late. We had been on the stream for like 6 hours. You know what I mean? It was somebody in the chat yesterday. His name was Hutch, and he made a statement along the lines of, it seems like everybody doesn't have a problem with disrespecting these Western religions, but whenever African religions get involved, nah, we can't do that. You know, and what I want to say on that, to that effect, is that it seems like we try to give anything that has to do with Black people a pass. And I'll go off topic for just a moment just to make my point. You know what I mean? Dr. Umar Johnson, I know a lot of people that are so heavily support this dude just because he's Black and he's promoting pro-Blackness. But I feel like, y'all are giving him a pass just because he's Black, but you're ignoring the fact that he's conning people out of their money. And some of the rhetoric coming out of his mouth is borderline sexist. You know, and at the end of the day, I think it's important. I mean, just to go back to what I was originally talking about, I don't want to go off too far. You know, just to be honest, I like learning about different cultures. I like learning about different religions and their language and all that good stuff. You know, just information is just interesting and stuff you never heard of before. But at the end of the day, should we be practicing this stuff? No, definitely not. And I know that some people may feel like I'm comparing what a lot of the various African tribes believe to a lot of the Western religions, but that's not really the case. Like, I'm not like other people. I'm a pure flipping atheist. I lack a belief in a deity. I am straight up saying that I have not been presented with any evidence that any of these deities exist, any of them. And nobody gets a pass, not even something that's from my own culture and ancestors. They don't get a pass either. A lot of these various African traditions, they have a lot of mythologies, just like the Greeks had a lot of mythologies. The Norse, the Vikings, they had a lot of mythologies. The Romans, they had a lot of mythologies. The Native Americans in North and South, and even the Eskimos, don't forget them people too. They had a lot of spiritualities very similar to us in Africa as well. But did these people make this stuff up? Yeah, they didn't understand what was going on around them. They were making things up to try to understand it. And yeah, you know, they were off on a lot of stuff and it worked for them at the time. But it's 2019, we have internet. It's 2019, like science has come a long way. And the way I see it is like this: those various practices in Africa, they're no different than these other religions. They have deities, they worship them. They feel like if they venerate these ancestors or venerate these deities or whatnot, that this will happen. That's a belief system. It's a belief system. And that belief system requires what? Faith. And once you get into faith, you're starting to go down the whole pseudo train, starting to go down that direction. You know what I mean? And I understand, you know, people are going to do what they want to do and people are going to believe what they want to believe. But if that's what makes them happy, you know, do what makes you happy. But don't lie to yourself and try to make it seem like what the people are practicing in Africa is somehow special, is somehow different. Oh, just because African people have been around for so long, you know what I mean, it somehow gets a pass. And it doesn't. But I think that's enough borderline bashing Africa for right now. I ain't finna bash Africa like that. I still love learning about the different cultures, and I think a lot of them are really interesting and cool. Like they have some really unique. They have a lot of creator gods. They have a lot of gods that, like, are very similar, like I said, to the Roman and the Greeks. They have like the mother god and the father god. It's almost like a pantheon. The little trickster gods that a lot of them have. And it's all good and dandy, but at some point in time, the one thing that I said that, like I said before, is the one thing that religions don't do that science does do is that they correct their information. Yeah, science got a lot of stuff wrong, like lobotomy. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that they had people drinking poisons and stuff like that. Oh, hey, this will do this for your body. Drink this snake oil. You know what I mean? But after a while, they had to correct their information. Religion doesn't do that. Belief systems don't do that. The way that religions and belief systems work is, hey, this is what we believe. This is our tradition. This is what we follow. And this is what we do. And they're not going to change it no matter what the information says, because it's been a part of their community for so long. So yesterday's stream, like Uncle said, was pretty interesting. Him and Chief X kind of went at it a great deal. I was trying to keep the peace, it failed miserably. I thought we was finna have World War III a couple times. A couple times, definitely. And how that goes when people, and their egos get into the mix. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to speak. And sometimes, you got to just let people speak. That's why I personally don't tell grown people how to act. Hey, do what you want to do. People are going to, yeah, I think what Jolanda said is correct. You got to respect the panel. Like, there's no reason, call people out their name or get personal or get emotional, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's just information. People are going to agree with you or they're going to disagree with you. And that's really the end of it. And I see Sean, he's in the chat, and he said he never got his answer. So what answer is that, Sean? Because I know you tried to interject and interrupt and ask me a question, and I didn't answer it because it would have forced me to go on a tangent. And that's how you end up doing that back and forth stuff. When people interrupt you and they ask you a question and you respond to it, it makes you go off on a tangent, and then it just forces you to go back and forth with that person instead of just finishing what your point was. Which is why I tried my best. I'm not saying I did the best, but I tried my best not to, interrupt people as much as possible. Let them say what they need to say. And if they said something that was just off the wall or something that I wanted to reply to that I don't think I would have been able to remember off the top of my head, I just wrote it down. And eventually, I got a chance to speak, or sometimes I didn't, and there was at least one point in time towards the end of the stream last night where I was talking about something that had nothing to do with what we was currently talking about, because I just didn't get a chance to speak for so long that I wanted to speak on what was originally being talked about before we went off on another tangent and went to talking about the Gospels. So Sean asked a pretty good question: does nature exist? And I mean, for those of us that are scientifically literate, like Brother Ankh said, is, yeah, nature exists. And I kind of know where you're going to segue this into, but I'll go ahead and let you have this one. So Sean asked again, does nature exist? And I pretty much said, yeah, nature exists. And I know you're going to probably try to incorporate that into a lot of what a decent amount of these various African traditions have, is nature and character and community and all that good stuff. Yeah, they had all of that, but you completely ignoring all the other stuff. You're completely ignoring the deity worship. You're completely ignoring the belief system that they had in place, the other stuff. And, you know, I wasn't trying to push people's buttons. That wasn't my intention to piss Brother Kofi off. I really wasn't trying to, you know what I mean? But I guess I struck a nerve or whatever. That wasn't my intention. I was just being honest and speaking the truth. But the way that Kofi was acting and the way you were acting, Sean, it really seriously reminded me of the way a lot of Christians and Muslims and those Hebrews, the way that they act when their information is challenged, or when, you know, someone says something that's logical that makes them question what they believe. They get to, you know, acting like that. What? Oh, no. This and this and that. And they start basically cherry picking. You start cherry picking. You're only talking about the good stuff, but you're ignoring all the craziness. You know, and I understand, you know what I mean? Like a lot of Christians and Muslims, they do it. You know, they ignore the crazy and the evilness in their religion, but they only want to focus on the good. And the same thing goes for those African traditions. You know, you only want to focus on the good. That's why I had to bring it to that level, even though True Story was trying to take it in a logical way. That's why I had to take it to that level and say, hey, you're trying to say that these traditions are all about character. These traditions are all about community and all of this good stuff, but you're completely ignoring that these same African tribes that had a problem with another tribe had no problem with going over there and killing these people and taking their land, which did definitely happen with the Khoisan, where they had an invasion of people, of African tribes from the north. And they still pissed about that shit today. You have various tribes that are still pissed to this day about shit that happened well before the Europeans and those foreigners got involved. That's why I say, that's why True Story asked that question, oh, well, if these religions weren't involved, would this still happen? And I said, yeah. I'm not going to backtrack on that. Yeah, it would still happen. But you were trying to use their religious belief as a moral ground when there's no morality in it. Well, actually, no, I can't say that. That would be lying, because there's some morality in the Christians' beliefs. There's some morality in what the Muslims believe, but there's also some immorality in it as well.
All right.
Who said that? Ask the Khoisan.
Yeah, you crazy. Yo.
Shit, there's probably some groups that don't even exist no more because they killed them all. And remember, it's so hard to prove a lot of stuff that happened in Africa because a lot of these groups, they didn't write shit down. It was only a couple of different groups that actually wrote stuff down. And then those that did write stuff down, when the Europeans came through, they started burning shit. So, you know, we all want to believe that all the Africans got along. They all saw each other as the same people, but they didn't. I mean, the sad fact is that they didn't. They didn't. Atlanta said, source up.
Source up.
I'm not pulling my laptop out for that one.
Source up.
But the real question is, hey, like, type it in on your phone. We have internets nowadays.
Let me see. You hear me, sis?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. You know I fell out, right?
Yeah, I tried to keep it going. I don't know if people were.
Appreciate that. You got the bang.
And I mean,
on Sean and Kofi. Hey, Sean, man, I ain't had nothing to do with that, yo. See, K the poet, yo, she started going in one of my fault, yo. But no, you know.
Sean says, I'm assuming that other Africans didn't Chancellor William talk about that in his book?
Yeah.
African tribes warring with each other well before Europeans came over there?
Yeah, that's
one source. There you go, Yolanda. That's one source.
Yeah, hold on. You want me to pull it up?
You can find YouTube videos of the Khoisan. They still are upset about what happened, you know, hundreds of years ago when a lot of the Bantu speakers migrated down there.
Shit. Somebody came in there. Sean that came in here and took my Destruction of Black Civilization. Give it back, Sean.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that book. I liked how he was able to stay objective despite the fact that he was religious himself.
Remember he said he ain't know why he was a Christian. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was always, telling for me in the book. I can't find, I don't know where I put the damn book in. I could have sworn just had yesterday. So, okay, all right. So you made a couple statements. You gave us a source to Destruction Black Civilization. I also I agree with what Chancellor was talking about. And so it's just human nature at times when there's land and resources involved, right? That, they're going to go to war. And for too long, we've been acting like that ain't been happening. It happened. It is what it is. True story real quick. Yeah, Sean, I'm going to make sure I put the damn link in the group, man. My computer moving slow. I'm going to make sure I put the link in there, man. Because I know you're going to have to respond to that. What the sister said. And, this show right here is always going to be about good dialogue. We just want to get better at what we do, right? The pseudo killers, you know what I'm saying? And nobody gets to pass on the pseudo killers. It just is what it is. It's the only way we can learn, all right? We'll do it as respectful as possible based off of your age and your grade, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the way I view the world, the way Wuja view the world, the way Sis view, how old are you, Sis? Just curious. How old are you? 30?
30.
Yeah, 30. X is
old.
X is, see, she thinks she's older 30. X is 28. Vance is 28. A couple other brothers is young. And so it's a young group of brothers and sisters that don't feel the need for religion. And who am I, the God killer, to tell them, no. And so I think we talked about yesterday how the Egyptians were starting to separate their religion from their science, right? That's a crucial point. It's a very, very crucial point in history. The Europeans were successful in doing this, right? I give the example of Peter the Great, okay? The first Tsar of Russia, right? I tell the story that when he was young, he used to build little toy ships and stuff like that, little toy armies, and fight all the time, right? Important. This is what I'm saying. So when he finally became of age and became the Tsar, the first thing he did was he left Russia. Now, if you go back in time, during this particular time period, Moscow was all wood. The city of Moscow had all wooden buildings, right? So the Tsar, he goes abroad. He goes to other European nations. So I'm saying European nation because Russia does not consider themselves European, right? We got to start getting our mind right and understand what people are considering themselves to be. If we go to the continent of Africa, they don't consider themselves like all Africans. Like they don't consider themselves to be the exact same people. Africa, that's an African-American thing, right? Because we lost our history, we lost our story, right? And we come from different places. And so we're grasping for our family, man. We're looking for our family. So we love the whole thing. But that's not how it is in Africa. They don't love the whole thing. They don't. You know what I'm saying? They trying to work their issues out. They trying to, like we say, all them damn people in Africa, you know what I'm saying, with the same lineages, you would think that they could work together. Like, why would they need any outsiders based off all the minimal wealth and resources they have in Africa? This speaks to the tribalisms the Europeans have, that all humans have. This speaks to the underdevelopment of Africa. We can never leave that out. Where would the African be without the underdevelopment of Africa? But that still can't be an excuse why they can't develop what they need to develop. And they're moving along slowly. That's why I started putting articles in the chat room yesterday talking about vaccines, how they actually on the continent. I mean, how certain sisters are actually presidents of organizations that's dealing with vaccine scientists, okay? So why we put that in the chat room, how the African woman is grasping science now. Whoa, watch out when the sisterhood get on that, right? So they rebuilding all that. But that doesn't take away from the fact that, you know what I'm saying, they don't all consider themselves, they're different nations, different cities, states, and I'll be damned, we got to start looking at it like that. I have a love affair with Africa, but at times I get frustrated. But although I have a love affair with Africa, I completely love being an African American, right? And I'm trying to get people to fall back in love with being African American. Black Algae kind of killed that, where it was all about being African, when the reality was it was all about understanding Africa, and that's when Sean and the Massey clan comes in effect, right? Because they was purely developed, you know what I'm saying, to explore and for us to start to understand West Africa specifically. So for all y'all jerks try to say we just Egypt, that's a bunch of bullshit, right? And for all y'all to try to say, you know what I'm saying, like Jabari and them, that think there's some kind of way we think that we Egyptians, that's some bullshit. Don't nobody on the Massey think they goddamn Egyptians. Don't nobody on the Amaral squad think they're Egyptians. Not even a little bit. Nobody thinks they're Egyptians. Nobody. Nobody runs around thinking they're Egyptians. Okay? Let's get that straight. That's to a man. That would be unscientific. That would not be based in reality. You know what I'm saying? And that would mean you do not understand scientific literacy. So we understand that you can share markers with Ramses and don't mean you use a damn Egyptian because we scientifically literate. Let me get back on course on what I'm saying here, right? So being an African American is vital for our survival moving forward from 2019 and going in this direction. I'm gonna say it again, realizing that you're a goddamn African American, right? Moving forward will be the thing that's gonna save your life. You know what I'm saying? Being an African American means you have the ability to look at Africa, pick the best things of Africa, and disregard the foolery that was in Africa. Systems or religions or culture. That's something you got over everybody. How great can a people be when they have a collection of people that they can look at and segment and place their lenses of science on it and figure out the rights, the wrongs, what it didn't do, figure out, study the interactions with the Europeans. Look at the mistakes they made with the Europeans. Look at their downfalls. Look how, despite the odds of not having guns and intercontinental ships, right? The great Queen Nzinga, how great was this black woman who even had a dispute with her own brother based off of not wanting to enslave her people? How great was this woman that fought against the two European factions, the British, the French, the Belgians, at the same damn time? How great was she to go undefeated for 40 years, being surrounded by Europeans? How great was this woman to develop war tactics that they would later use in Vietnam? Guerrilla warfare. How great was she to modify, right? To unify under being African before that term was great. How great was she? Remember, she used to send troops in to infiltrate armies, European armies, because they was using slaves. If you read the Destruction of Black Civilization, they was using slaves, slave armies against Africans. Black on black crime. How great was Nzinga to actually send people in to educate the slave armies, let them know who they was, right? Take the guns and incorporate a new army. How great was this sister? How great was she? So to be African American, right? To develop a team, Massey clan, that can actually study Africa, that actually have a love affair with the Masseys. How great is that for those young brothers and sisters to do that? Bring the information back, and now we can critique it. That's why we stand levels above everybody else around us, because we got that ability. Plain and simple. So we take the good with the bad and the bitter with the sweet. And never being hogtied by Africa. Because we African Americans, man. Right? And depending on where you at in your development as an African, you might sway a little more over here. You might sway a little more over there. But that's when the respect got to come in. You know what I'm saying? That's when respect comes in, and you keep it on the knowledge and the information, and you get it in because we're intellectual sword fighters. I say all that to say that it's important to be able to have open discussions without being hogtied by the elders, by the damn ancestors, by the continent of Africa, you know what I'm saying? By Europeans, right? By our jobs, you know what I'm saying? Well, you might be hogtied by your job, but you do need to feed them goddamn babies. You gotta watch what you say sometimes. Not unless you just don't give a fuck and you good and you got it. It's okay. But there's a price to pay for every damn thing. Just ask Colin Kaepernick. Ask him, right? And we're going to get into the JT thing maybe a little bit later because that's a hell of a dynamic. I think it is. Right? So I'm really saying it's just important to have an open discussion, right? It's important to develop a next generation who don't believe none of that, right? Go back to the blank slate, right? And rebuild another culture in America that will help fight against racism, white supremacy, to help fight against black supremacy, you know what I'm saying? To fight against blackology, to fight against whiteology, you know what I'm saying? To carve a niche in history, right? That would allow us to stand tall and strong. And they say, them motherfuckers on their A game right there. You can't trick them no more with religion. You can't trick them with nothing. They on their A game, right? And they building something for their next generation. And they truly got spirituality because it's food, clothing, and shelter. How spiritual is it to be able to take care of your goddamn babies and feed them when they're hungry? How spiritual it is for you to be able to teach the babies proper information, scientific literacy, you know what I'm saying? So that they can then feed themselves by gaining resources, you know what I'm saying? And then have grandbabies, you know what I'm saying? And pass that scientific literacy on them. How great is that? To understand that we didn't lose because we prayed to the wrong gods. Maybe at that time and period, our beliefs made us vulnerable. So I come to the source, the MBK, through last night. He gave it to me about 2 years ago, right? And the source was very interesting, okay? And when I dropped the source, computer moving super slow. I'm gonna put it in the chat room from UNESCO, all right? Y'all know why UNESCO was developed, all right? Some of y'all should know about the Cairo Symposium with Diop, Theophile Bangor, Walter Rodney's was there dealing with the scientific team because they felt there was a need for Africa to actually tell their history, you know what I'm saying, from their own thing. Let me first put it in the chat room so sis can read it. Brother Wuja was read it. I don't know, you in there yet? Wuja, how you doing, brother Black African Power? Let me put this in the thing for you. I gotta get it in before Wuja get the rocket.
Hey, peace. I just can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. How you doing, man?
All right, peace. Peace to the panel. Sister Shani. If I'm saying your name correct.
What's up, Brother YG?
Hey, the poet.
Yeah, I'm just now coming in, so I don't want to come in under fire, so I don't know what the topic is. So I'm gonna hang back and
hang back. CK just get up Sean and Kofi. When they come in here, it's gonna be raging.
So I'm just gonna listen first, and then I'll chime in if I can. But I'm just listening in because it sounds like this is I don't know. It sounds like I'm walking into something now. It sounds like something's cooking, boy. I can smell it in the oven right now. So
smell it on the pot.
So I'm gonna hang back.
No, we had a good ass conversation. Let me put a CK report. You see that thing in the chat, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me put that. Boy, there you go. There, yes, sir. Marine Corps up. Boy, you crazy with that. I ain't even mad at you, yo. That's respect. All right, y'all. So in the chat room, I'm putting the source in there real quick for y'all, right? Let me see. I don't want to struggle to do it. So what we have here is the Arakua Long Juju slave route, Cave Temple complex, right? And basically what this is talking about, how, so watch this right here in the statements of authenticity and or integrity, right? So it says right here, the ROs centered around Arakua were able to manipulate their central oracle. Y'all know what an oracle is, right? Ibn Ukapado, Long Juju, in such a way that it became judicial machinery in every Igbo community. Okay? Trusting in efficiency of the oracle, people in dispute went to settle their scores. The guilty victims became a property of the gods. They were eventually sold as slaves or retained as domestic property of the Arab priests. Now, I'll get us to the Masi warrior clan, man, and then let them do some in-depth research, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of factors in this, right? And really let them dig into it to really get us the thorough story of it. They just give us a piece. But it's a few things just striking here, that African people would actually manipulate an oracle, okay, and make it as such where it's actually have domain or over things, whether they're right or wrong, you know what I mean? And actually putting people in a position to get enslaved based off of, this oracle. You know what I'm saying? So I think it definitely needs to be some understanding in this, right? And I just find it really interesting. That's interesting right there. So you talked about using gods, you know what I'm saying? How can a person be a property of the God? Is there something we missing here, right? And that's just, for me, that's a clear sign of using religion, you know what I'm saying, over people, over other tribes or over your community. You know what I'm saying? No more different than it is today. And I think it's very, very interesting to see this right here, right? So that we could correct things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Very important. But, I would appreciate if the Masi clan, actually looked into this and really, delved into it. Like who, what, like why was these things this way? Right. And I gave y'all the, like they say, like the sister said, source up, but shut up. So there go your source right there, right? From UNESCO. We'll put it back in the chat again. All right. So y'all can read that. I might have chopped it up a little bit, but it's okay. We'll get it straight. Right. And, it's just clear what it is saying. And you go back and look at the show last night, kind of put some context to, exactly, let me see. Yeah, do that for me, Kofi. Appreciate you, bro, because I know that's what y'all do, man. And appreciate that. All right. So, as a not to get confused, what I'm gonna say next, and I want to let Wu in for a second, because I want to talk about my friends. Right? Now, when I'm talking about my friends, you know what I'm saying? My legitimate friends are scientifically literate. All right? And the friends that I got that are pseudo-minded or religious-minded, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They get mad when information is corrected. They just do. Right? So I don't want that to slide into what I just was talking about, right? I want to kind of separate that, give y'all some space, because I'm going to bang out on my fake ass friends, right? So where you at, Wuja?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, yeah. So we had the conversation about the friend part, right? I don't want nobody to get the impression, right, that what I'm about to say that I'm talking about any of the family. You know what I'm saying, I just want to, I want to make. I don't want that. I don't want that. Right. I don't want that to bleed into it like that. Feel me? Because like all our friends are scientifically literate. So I'm not gonna get mad if somebody come on here and give me a source. You know what I'm saying? And it's a reputable source and it match what the hell they say. Not like I'm by sports matching up shit today. Not that. We ain't gonna do that. We gonna fight. But if I'm corrected, I am corrected. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead real quick, Mujab, because you know what I mean? I'm great bang on some things.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just now coming in, and I don't know, it sounds like y'all have some stuff in the oven at 350 degrees already. So I'm trying to see what y'all cooking first. But on, as far as what we were talking about earlier today, I'll just reiterate what I was saying. I was saying, in the social community that people are calling the conscious community, what people are calling friends sometimes is a little different than how things should be in terms of progress and benefits. Because a true friend, and people know this, a true friend is going to check you when you're wrong, and encourage you when you're right, and be there for you, to push you when you slack. They're going to be somebody that you can lean on in areas that you're weak in, and they allow you to lean on them in areas that they're strong in. And so this idea, so what I was saying earlier is that, in this arena, see, the conscious community is based off of disseminating information. That's really what everybody does in their own way. You got different styles of it, but everybody is disseminating some kind of information. And so our obligation as scientists, seekers of knowledge, and people who accumulate knowledge and expand on existing knowledge, our number one obligation and loyalty is to the truth. And so that should be the umbrella under which friendship is made, because a lot of people online don't know each other. I mean, truth be told, most people in the conscious community have never met each other face to face. I mean, there's a cluster of people. Of course, you got the House of Consciousness family with Sa Neter and the 125th crew and the House of Consciousness crew, where they live in proximity to each other, and they cross paths. But a lot of others outside of that, they've never had a face-to-face conversation. They don't know. They've never been in each other's house. They never broke bread with somebody at the dinner table and stuff like that. So we have to understand there's a difference in what we say friend. And so these kinds of friends, at the very least, should be under the umbrella of that loyalty to an obligation to the truth and accurate information, because that's going to be, in the long run, that's going to what's going to propel us and allow us to expand and grow as a community of people. And so if somebody is spewing pseudo information that's wrong, and you can demonstrate that it's wrong, and for those people to get mad and then therefore in their anger discount you as a friend, then that's the wrong kind of friend to have in this environment. period. So that's the gist of what I was saying, is that friend in this social community is different than a friend, a beloved one that you actually break bread with, and so on. This is different levels to it. We would like for them to be the same, but in reality, they're not. It's just not. And we have to consider that. You know, just like your family, if a family member, flesh and blood family, if you have children, even your own children, your children could be dead wrong. And as a parent, you're supposed to discipline and correct them. Now, how you go about doing it, now that's where you got to get creative and have some consideration and some strategy. But you're not going to sit there and not discipline your child or not correct your child, because if you spare the rod, you spoil the child, as they say. Because if you don't correct them, you don't discipline them, then they're gonna mature and be a functioning adult with bad character and bad habits, and not know how to interact with people if you don't correct them, even though they're your own flesh and blood. And that's the ultimate love right there, from a parent to their own children. So anyway, not to be long, that's all I was saying. So I don't know how that ties into what y'all already had cooking in the oven, but that's what I was saying earlier.
Right. Yeah, that was deep right there. So back to cooking the goose in the pot. Back to that real fast. So, I was talking about learning the lines, right? You know what I'm saying? You gotta always remember how you start the conversation off. Talking about learning the lines between getting off of drugs, you know what I'm saying, and teaching people how to stay off of drugs. And I was likening to that to the conversation we had with Chief X. And Chief X was saying he liked gospel. So personally speaking, right, there is no one should have a problem with anybody loving music, period. You know what I'm saying? So if Chief X love music, you know what I'm saying, then be damned, he should be able to, you know what I'm saying, enjoy his music. The problem I had with that was that you are a teacher in the community, you banging on God, right? You banging on the religions, you know what I'm saying? You beating up people unmercifully, you know what I'm saying, on their God, on their beliefs, but yet you sit back and find comfort, right? And joy, you know what I'm saying, in a genre that was created to express the love for Jesus Christ and God. Not just any God, but the Christian God. Not the Hebrew God, not the African God, not the Muslim God, but the Christian God. I'm saying in your personal space, man, you might love, that's cool. Just like I stopped using drugs on Saturday, you know what I'm saying, chilled out on Sunday, and was getting money on Monday. I might not want to share that with the people that I'm trying to teach how to stay off of drugs, because they might not be strong enough to stop using drugs on Saturday, chill out, drink some water on Sunday, you know what I'm saying, and get money on Monday. And I can verify that story. People might not be strong enough to sit around and play gospel in a car trying to get off the drug of religion. Because you know how I go in the church. We don't really go to church to listen to the preacher. We go to listen to the choir. And a lot of us got the message through the choir. The message of hope. The message of truth. The message of love. The message of salvation was in the damn music. Okay? Might not want to do to people like that. They might go back to believe in Jesus again, maybe. I don't know. But it's a recipe for relapse is what I am saying. Some of y'all might not understand it. Y'all might not get it. But I am telling you this, man. Don't stop using drugs, right? And have the ability to sell drugs and then teach a group of people who might not be as strong as you, right? It just stop using drugs that they might be able to sell drugs. It is far easier for a person that's on drugs to stop using drugs if they're not around goddamn drugs. It is much easier for people who have been just overwhelmed with religion their whole life from the moment they can start understanding English language calling their mother mouth to the time they meet your goddamn ass, taking a goddamn God with them, from them. They say it all the goddamn time. If you got something, if you're going to take something from a motherfucker, make sure you have something to replace it. It took me a while to understand that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to replace it. I mean, but goddamn, don't replace it back with the same thing you just took from me. That's the part I couldn't understand. But that was the beauty in the goddamn conversation. Now, y'all saying, why you ain't get Chief here? Because I don't feel like arguing with Chief right now. He get mad too. He got too mad, called me, nigga, he did too much on that. I talked to him today. I say, man, you did too much. You yelling and screaming because I thought the conversation, I think, and I still think it was an excellent conversation, and that shit needed to be had. That Chief, why you know what I'm saying? My nigga say, yo, bistro. That's what you call your bistro. Why you, Bobby West, you nigga, why you in the rehab teaching them niggas that you still selling drugs, dog? Like, damn, bro, like they might can't handle that. That was my point. Now to my friends. How y'all doing, friends? How you doing, elders? How y'all doing? Let's make this very clear. I never was in it for the bread. I had bread before I started. Might have made money off YouTube once upon a time. But that's not what inspired me. Like you got football players, you know what I'm saying? They might make 100 million, right? And whatever. But that's not what make them get out that bed. That's not what make them train every day, right? That's not what make they mind move. That's not why Ray Lewis played linebacker because of the millions he was getting. That ain't why he did it. He would have played this shit in the back alley on a grass lot somewhere because he loved this shit. I do this because I love it. My family has suffered because I love it, and I don't knock niggas that do it for the bread because resources are valuable. No shade on that at all. Right? I do it because I love it. I do it because I want the truth, right? And in having an ability based off my friendships with brothers like the Masi, Brother Ben, Brother Wuja, Sauce and Jetty, Dr. Mayat, Sister Naya, Brother Nahisi, Son Jetty, you know what I'm saying? Brother Garfield, the Dagger Squad, the MBK, you know what I'm saying? Double X, Architect Vance, all of them, unpolitically correct, all of them, based off of them friendships, and we fighting to get the truth. Man, I feel like I owe it to y'all to be able to see the truth or to be able to get to the truth. I feel like I owe that to y'all. I could beat y'all up with this pseudo shit. The whole team could go pseudo and have 1 million views at times if we want to. We could master that shit. But man, I feel like that I want the African-American community, man, to be able to see what I see and to be able to determine what they see for themselves based off of proper methodology, based off of, you know, getting into sources, you know what I'm saying, based off of, you know, developing study teams that study a particular area in Africa and being able to give them an article and say, man, you know, when you get time, check this out and let's get a goddamn thing on it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's what Kofi is going to be doing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like y'all listening right here, I think y'all deserve the same thing. And this is an essential part of our freedom. But my friends feel like that, you know, we need not tell the truth all the time. They ain't say it like that, though. But we might need to care the truth because you got elders, and you know, like elders, they sell certain things and they teach certain things. Man, look, check this out, y'all. Fuck that shit. I ain't signed up for that, man. Do y'all think I spend this time, you know what I'm saying, for the last goddamn 15 years, trying to find the truth, not trying, because the African mind don't understand trying, but fighting to get the truth only to let a group of people that's my friends tell me that I can't teach the truth. Get the fuck out of here. How about that? I don't play that. I signed up to get the truth. And I didn't sign up to be right all the time, right? And I didn't sign up to have a fucking ego off the motherfucking chain where my comrades, around me, can't help me in getting the truth when I make a damn mistake. I didn't sign up for that neither, to be the smartest nigga in the room. I didn't sign up for that. I signed up so the jaw to see my transition, for being a goddamn wild ass pseudo, running around with SETI, we was banging hard as shit, to come into the level of understanding scientific literacy and respecting the goddamn nature around me. That's why the fuck I signed up. And that's what I want everybody in the chat room to get. I want y'all to feel that same thing, that same freedom, to know that there ain't nobody holding you down. Can't no white man hold you down. Can't no black man hold you down. Can't no raggedy people hold you down. You can hold your damn self down. And we can be free mentally, socially, and spiritually. And when I say spiritually, I mean food, clothing, and shelter, and protection of that. That's freedom. That you can have the civil rights movement full of Christian people fighting to be able to sit up front in a goddamn store, fighting to get jobs, broke as shit, and you have a millionaire that's actually funding this shit, Gaskin, AJ Gaskin, millionaire, black millionaire, during the time when niggas was getting their head busted for looking at white people too much. I think we can be that guy. That's what I feel in my heart. I understand that we can have our own businesses and take care of our own community. That's how I feel. If we free mentally, the biggest change we got is on our mind, right? And those changes were instituted through the religion. That's why I had to say something about Chief X. Had to say it, bro. You're a banger. The gun stay smoking. Leave the gospel alone. Joking. But my point is clear. I didn't sign up to have friends, right, that would hold me to something that I can't do. I can't not give y'all the truth, man. I can't do it. And then I started to realize that my friendships is getting in the way of me being able to tell a goddamn truth. Because if I say something about this, then this fucking elder is mad. This fucking friend is mad. Man, fuck that shit, man. I don't need no friends. How about that? I only need friends, that respect the truth, not disrespect it. I don't need friends to try to use my friendship so that I won't bang on their motherfucking ass about the truth. Not about their family, not about their business deal, and I don't get all in that, because I've been a hypocrite, because I was a fucking criminal since the age of 13, so they say. I ain't all that. I don't worry about all that. But this thing I signed up for right here is for the purity of the damn truth. And I know the only way to get it is through scientific literacy. And I'm not going to let no elder, I don't care what their name is. I'm not going to let no damn friend. I don't care what rank they got. I don't care how many views they got. I don't care how many documentaries they got. I don't need that. Not me. I'm a stand-up type of guy. I do this shit by my damn self. I don't need a friend that's going to sway me to stop talking, so they can get their bullshit off at the end of the day. That bullshit pseudoisms that the whole community has been flooded with, since I came in this motherfucker. That's what I'm talking about. I came to clean this motherfucker up. And I can't clean this motherfucker up with friends to keep promoting that shit and trying to put it back on me. Check this out, y'all. Fuck that shit. Now, how about that? And you can't stop me because science is undefeated. Now I'm done. How you doing, brother Kofi? What's good, baby?
What's going on with you, brother Unc, man?
I want to let them niggas know I still got it. That's what I'm saying. I want to let them know I still got it. Now jump. That's what I'm saying. Let them niggas jump. Yeah, jump. with that pseudo shit they teaching. Go ahead and jump. I'll make you famous. Yeah. What's up, Dope Coach?
Nothing much, man. Appreciate you, man, for having me on the panel, man. Peace, Brother Wu Jiao. Peace to the sister. Peace to you. Man, I'm just sitting back listening. Seems like somebody got you hot and riled up.
Oh, yeah, got me riled up. Yeah, I don't take threats.
Hey, peace, Kofi. So, I always want to say something to what you were saying. You know, I think this is one of the points where we have to understand that our obligation, like I said, is to the truth. But there's a responsibility that comes with that, right? Telling the truth is not something in and of itself that could be microwave either, and it's not easy. So along with sharing the truth and telling the truth, we have to understand that there's other elements that go along with that. And that's just how it is. Like being an adult, you're just not going to be an adult just for the sake of being an adult. There's things that come along with adulthood. So there are things that come along with being a truth bearer and a truth teller. And so we have to be mindful of strategy, because sometimes it's not what you do, it's how you do what you do. And I'm not talking about you. When I say you, I'm not talking about anybody on the panel specifically. I'm saying the general you. So sometimes it's how we do what we do and not specifically what we do. Because I give you an example. If a young child who's loyal to the truth in a public setting just blurt out the truth about some in-house personal family business, and their parent, about their parents or siblings or whatever the case is, their parents will be highly upset at that child saying the truth. Now, when the parent get upset, they can't tell the child not to tell the truth, but they're going to have to explain to the child that there's a time and season and the method on how you do that. So telling the truth or being about the truth is not a cut and dry, 1, 2, 3 thing. It takes skill, and it takes strategy. It takes a wherewithal. It takes consideration of a lot of factors, a lot of elements to do that, because we have to understand that the truth offends people where the percentage of people deal with untruths. A lot of people are used to being lied to and accepting lies and live in lies. You got cognitive dissonance that goes on in a lot of people's minds. And so the truth is an enemy. And so if you know that you are an enemy and you're walking into a room full of people who see you as an enemy, you're going to conduct yourself a certain way. You're not going to conduct yourself the exact same way as if you're walking into a group of other people who deal with the truth just like you. So there's a mannerism and there is a method in telling the truth and sharing the truth and teaching the truth. There's methods and stuff to that. So we have to be mindful of that and understand the consequences and responsibilities of all that stuff. So that's all, what I always like to emphasize, and I'm gonna give a real time example real quick. I did a video about Kemetic yoga, right? This was last year. I did a Facebook video. I did 2. I originally did 1 video about Kemetic yoga, and there are a lot of, I personally know people who practice Kemetic yoga, and then there's a lot of people on my friends list, Facebook friends list, that must practice Kemetic yoga. So when I did the video about Kemetic yoga, I understood that I need to be careful in what I say, because if I'm misconstrued, I'm going to offend people. And so I was very specific and careful with how I worded what I worded and the whole 9. But I can only do my best. Still, some people were still offended, and they came and they they expressed themselves. So it was just a matter of me clarifying for them, so they'll know what I'm saying, and I had to reiterate a couple of things and stuff like that. So So I say that to say that when I did it, I knew that there's a possibility that I'm going to offend people. So because of that, I did it a certain way. I didn't just recklessly say Kemetic yoga is pseudo or blah, blah, blah. You know, I didn't do all of that. I specifically went through and meticulously went through the points I was making. And I even went as far as to say that Kemetic yoga is a beautiful, productive and beneficial thing to participate in. And I even said that I wouldn't mind getting up under someone to learn it. But my point of doing the video was to express that the positions, the postures, that's all I was focused on. The positions or postures that the practitioners of Kemetic yoga put themselves in, those postures, those are not real historical postures that was ever done by the ancient Egyptians. That was my entire point for the whole video, but I demonstrated that, like I proved my point. You know, I didn't just say that. I demonstrated that. And so still people took it as though I was saying Kemetic yoga, toss it in the trash. And that's not the case, because yoga in itself is a practice that's benefit. I've seen it benefit a lot of people, from blood circulation through the flexibility, through concentration, being able to focus, being able to think very clearly because of the meditation aspects. All of those things are very, very beneficial. But I wanted to separate the positions and people claiming that Kemetic yoga is an ancient thing versus something that was created in today's times that happens to be beneficial. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I give that example. And what I said, to come back to my point, is that truth telling, truth teaching, and truth obligation, there's a responsibility that comes with that. And you have to have a certain, I guess, character to tread through that and swim through that and do it pretty good. So I guess that's my 2 cents to add in.
Yeah, thank goodness for you, boy. They all be dead. Save them, save. So, okay. And the funny part about, and this is the part that I always laugh at, yo. Since we're in the intellectual gunfight, you know what I'm saying? And I really see no difference in, you know, I mean, you've said that from day one, way to do everything. And that kind of, you know, based off of Wuja, based off of Sajedi, you know what I'm saying? Based off of the way y'all, you know, always wanting to handle things, kind of, you know, helps me grasp at some balance sometimes, right? And everybody needs that balance. But the shit that I always laugh about, after y'all try to be, you know, like, real, you still get shot at just like me. This shit be funny to me. See, I already know they're going to shoot at me, so I might as well get all mines off my chest, so I ain't even mad when I get shot at. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always take a real offense when they try to bang on y'all like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, man, these niggas do it right. They don't use a cuss word. You know, like you said, you were simply making the point, right, that Kemetic yoga is really a newfound African-American thing. And ain't nothing wrong with that. That's really dope. You know what I'm saying? To take some pictures off the wall, you know what I'm saying, and incorporate it and say it's yoga, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's creative, right? But the reality is the Nile Valley Africans didn't do that way anyway, right? And those pictures had nothing to do with yoga. You know what I'm saying? It was based off of their stylized art. So it was really a teaching moment. They take that, right? I'm in Atlanta anywhere I'm at, going to lectures, they come banging on me about Wuja and them, talking about ain't no Kemetic yoga, trying to prove to me that it is. You know what I'm saying? Can't believe y'all disrupting that. Y'all going against Muda Ashby, the elders and all that. Crazy as hell. I be laughing. I'm like, man, that's not what it is. He's just really trying to give y'all some historical accuracy on it, so we ain't running around like a bunch of fools. They don't be trying to hear that. The same way with the damn moment to buy the book, y'all. Book. Where the hell is the book? Here you go. Same thing with this beach right here. It's a beast right here. All right, the contributions to the debate on the meaning of the place named Kemet. Come on, man. It's in book form. Look for them. You had niggas making videos, talking shit, had niggas talking about, hey, yo, they plagiarized. They did all of that. And y'all was nice. See, with me, right, I done banged on everybody, banged on all the elders, and wouldn't been mad. It's just funny how it don't matter how you do it. When people are trying to promote their lie, right, or their misunderstanding, right, that's what I want to say. I want to say when people are trying to promote what they think their truth is, you know how they say now, tell your truth, say your truth, right? When they're trying to promote that, they don't give three flying hells about what the truth is. They only kick in what they want to say and what they want to know and what they've been able to make money off of for the most part. So if you create a whole organization around Kemetic yoga, you ain't trying to hear that nonsense that Wu John them talked about. You know what I'm saying? If you promote blackology and it's based off of the name, place name, Kemet, meaning black people, you definitely ain't trying to hear what they saying. Matter of fact, they don't care how nice you say it. If you say it like, well, basically, I'm simply saying, right, they're based off of place name. Place names, are actually, once something becomes a place name, right, it's no longer dealing with the individual. You can say it that nice. So you can say, yo, check this out, man. That ain't the truth, and it's based off of this right here. Either way, they still going to bang because they have a motive in effect, right? Just like my friends. My friends don't want me, the correct information because they have a damn agenda to promote bullshit information. So all that, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got to be who they going to be, right? And there's different stages of growth and development and all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't crazy. I know what I'm doing. Go ahead, Wu. What you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, see, this is something that you learn in argument theory and debating tactics and stuff like that. If anybody ever goes through that in a formal way, it's not about your opponent. It's about the onlooker, the judges, or the audience. Of course, depending on the context. So this is the thing. The best case scenario is always the courtroom. Everybody use the courtroom, a criminal trial as the example. When you have the defense attorney and the prosecuting attorney, they're not trying to convince each other of anything. They are there to represent their interests. So the state attorney is going to represent the interests of the state. The defense attorney is supposed to represent the interests of the defendant. And so what they're both trying to do is convince the jury. That's what they're trying to do. They're not even trying to convince the people that are in the pews, in the gallery. They're trying to focus on those 12 people jury panel. That's what they're trying to do. So they're not trying to convince each other. And that's something a lot of people forget. So the prosecutor may say something that the defense doesn't like and get upset about. But you best believe the prosecutor is not concerned about that. They're concerned about how the jury feels, not about how that person feels. So we have to keep that in mind that sometimes, there's a bigger picture to this. It's not about the direct person. Of course, they're going to say something like you brought up about the Kemetic yoga. If I built an entire enterprise around Kemetic yoga being an authentic ancient practice, as if the ancient Egyptians did those poses and postures, then you got some guy with a funny sounding name, Wuja, coming along and saying that the ancient Egyptians did not utilize those positions. Of course, I'm going to be upset because that's going to affect my integrity. It's going to affect my enterprise and the whole nine. But is it true or not? That's what it was going to come down to. And then it's for the greater understanding, because if they are not defensive, they can understand and say, well, wait a minute. Then what I am doing is benefiting our people, but it's not ancient. I'm still good. And see, all they have to do is just make an adjustment and not feel like they're being attacked and shut down. And so that's why on my part, you have to be careful. I can't be condescending and say, oh man, get that crap out of here. You know, that's some pseudo stuff. Forget your business. I'm coming after your business. You know, I'm gonna put you out of business. See, if I had that kind of attitude, then not to the person, because like you said, the person gonna be mad no matter what. But now to the onlookers, I'm gonna look like a troublemaker, and that's what we don't want. So we always got to keep in mind of the different persons involved in any particular acts that we do. Just like in a speech act, we got first person, second person, third person. Well, just in all actions, you got that going on. You got the person who's conducting the act. You got the person who is undergoing the action. Then you got the audience who are watching, who's watching, you know, and so we got to keep it in mind. But yeah, I'm going to pop back in, you know, I'm going to have to leave and pop back in if y'all still on. And it sound like y'all going to go in for a lot longer. So I'll pop back in, but I'm going to have to roll out. I'll be back.
Hey, appreciate that wisdom there, bro. Appreciate that. Tell you what I learned a long time ago, yo. You can only be the best you. If you try to be somebody else, that's when your ass get fucked up. Yeah, learned that. You're a guy to squeeze the trigger, man. Squeeze the trigger. Squeeze the trigger. Try to be like somebody else that might could talk his way through the situation. You know what I'm saying? And then squeeze the trigger. You know what I'm saying? He probably can get away with that. But if you're a guy just squeeze the trigger, squeeze the trigger. Trust me with that. Mm-hmm. Be the best you. Everybody can't fight the same. Everybody can't run the ball the same. You know what I'm saying? What you try to do is, though, you try to be respectful of your friends around you. I never forget I was in Baltimore, Maryland story. Right? And we was debating over, you know, how should this thing get taken care of? Should we do it this way? Should we do it that way? You know what I'm saying? And there was a guy over here saying, yo, let's just go take care of it. Ah, man, hold off in the joint that we, you know, take, And that moment just popped up out of nowhere, and that thing had got taken care of. And everybody was shocked. Funny story. We was trying to figure out the most political way to do it, the most proper way to take care of that, you know, made it. This other guy just took care of it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we'd have tried to, you know what I'm saying, stop him from doing what he do, you know what I'm saying? That's a problem. Like Chief, like, can't stop Chief from the way he banged, man. I like the way Chief banged, man. I like that, man. Chief the wild card. I appreciate the way he do that. Can't stop him, Chief. Oh, yo, don't cuss, Chief. Hey, Chief, don't. Like, I know who Chief is. So when he come on here, I already know what he gonna do. He gonna bang on me. He gonna bang on, he ain't got no picks. Well, I like Chief. Got no picks. Don't. Just don't. How you doing, brother? I ain't see you in there, bro.
Like,
bro. Couldn't hear you, brother.
Blog talk days.
What?
Thought it was on them blog talk days. I hear you on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Sound like me about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta bang them things, man. Just got to, man. You know what I'm saying? And just wait to see what come back. Feel me? Got to. But yeah, we ain't want to go too long. You want to add something to the conversation? You got something to say? Because you was a little hot last week with the ignorance around us. Was. You want to add something, man?
No, I'm just relaxing tonight. I'm just relaxing.
Okay, yeah. We can sit back and replay the download. You know what I mean? Yeah. You want to add something, sis? TK the poet?
No, I'm here. I just was listening to y'all, you know, go in. It was really nice hearing y'all, both of your perspectives on that topic. Definitely.
Yeah, everybody get a perspective. I put the link in the chat if anybody want to join, anybody had a question, anybody want to call the number. You know, whatever it is, yo. All right. I mean, so I put that in there, right? I appreciate everybody coming through. All right. See you to Hootie. What's good, bro? I released that. You was in there, weren't you? Hey, Tootie, wasn't you in there? Hmm. Oh, it was. Anyway, you know what I'm saying, yo? Ain't nobody got no more questions, nobody got nothing to add, right? Um, you know, I think it was short and sweet and to the damn point. You know what I mean?
What needed to be said was said.
Yeah. All out. We all good. Got off my chest. I feel better today. I can sleep in peace. Mm-hmm. Let me see any questions in the chat room. Said 99% of all hard scientists do support biological evolution. Yep. The scientific consensus is in on evolution. And they've been able to verify that over the last 100 years.
Creationists. Mm-hmm. And then the ones that, can't let the religious stuff go.
Mm-hmm. Fringe 1%. They the only ones don't agree with that. You're right. Right. That's it. Right. Let's see. Let me see any more questions in there. Let's see. Nope. Nobody got no questions. Yeah, man, I appreciate the people that did show up, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to start working on our project, man.
Well, I see someone in the chat that says something that was really interesting that I like. Asar Man said that let's debate our oppressors and not ourselves.
Yeah, what?
He made a statement in the chat. He said, Asar Man said, let's debate our oppressors and not ourselves. And what? I see why, like when people think that, we're debating, we like fighting each other, but you can disagree with someone and not, call them a gang of names and stuff like that and yell at them. You just say your point and, let them say their point. Y'all either agree or disagree. Like when I was a freshman, well, let me stop lying. I was probably like a sophomore in college, and I was learning about the different philosophers, and how they had discussions and whatnot. They weren't, yelling at each other and fighting and calling each other all kind of names. They were just trying to get to the root of stuff, try to get to the better understanding. Mm. I mean, I think anybody can, have their opinion on something or bring facts to the table.
That's a fact right there. Yeah. I mean, you don't just get to this space overnight, neither, man. It take a certain level of growth. You know what I mean? It just do. To see the world for what it is, to see the world in reality, man. I think African American religion should be reality. That's what I think. But who am I?
John's still going on and on about that statement I made about African American religions, man.
Who?
He is upset.
Who you talking about?
I guess Brother Sean says that, we got people. He don't want to call me out by name, but he says we got people out here categorizing people's cultures into one group.
Would have came on and said
it. The main point that like Double X was making yesterday and that I was making and I kind of reiterated today is that, the belief systems. I'm not going into the nitty gritty of each specific group in which each specific group did differently. Do you have deities? Do you worship these deities? Do you have a belief system? Do you believe by worshiping these deities, offering them sacrifices, venerating your ancestors and that is going to do this or grant this or that to you? That's a belief system. And believing that requires some faith, AKA religion. And I just throw all religions, throw them all under the same banner. They all religious beliefs. And I know some people, you're not talking about me? My bad. I'm sorry. My bad, Sean. My bad.
Yeah, he would have came
on. I need to stop taking shit personal. See, look at me. I'm talking about other people taking stuff personal. I'm taking stuff personal. Throw myself under the bus. But like I told Sean yesterday, I still love his channel. I watch every single video. I share it too. I agree with 90-ish% of everything that he says. But there was kind of one thing that I just now remembered that both Sean said yesterday and Kofi said that I thought was kind of interesting. You know what I mean? They were kind of promoting, of course, African traditions and whatnot, which I thought that was good. And they said that they also, point out the bad in it as well. But something that Kofi expounded upon was that there's certain parts of it that I don't like that I'm not going to teach to my kids. And I'm like, I didn't think about it at the time because it was so late, tired as hell.
Okay, what
2 hours of sleep. I didn't think about it until I tried to lay down and go to sleep. And I was like, that was
you said what?
Point that Kofi made.
You said
it
what?
Almost kind of sounds like a religion almost because.
You said what?
Huh?
You said he said what?
Kofi had expounded upon something that Sean had said in regards to African traditions. Sean was basically saying that, that they respect a lot of the African traditions and, follow it and whatnot. And they said they also talk about the bad in them, not just the good. And then Kofi expounded upon what Sean said and said that, hey, there's certain parts of these African traditions that I wouldn't teach to my kids. And I thought that was very interesting, an interesting statement. I said, it kind of sounds like a religion. It's no different than a lot of these religions that cropped up here in America. They took Islam. I'll use the Nation of Islam. I throw myself in the list. I used to be a part of the Nation of Islam. They took Islam and probably mixed with some other craziness too. Came up with their own thing. They took some parts that they wanted, added some parts that they wanted, said that, hey, we're not going to do this because we don't agree with that. And then guess what? People created other branches off of the Nation of Islam. You ended up having the 7%ers, the 5%ers, and I think there was some other group that came out of that. And even Islam is a branch off from Christianity, and Christianity is a branch off from Judaism. And Judaism is a branch off of the polytheistic religion that was practiced in the Middle East or the Levant rather, around that time. People just, they do their own thing. They start picking and choosing. That's why I use the word that I used earlier, cherry picking. You start picking what you do want to do and what you don't want to do. That's why I say we don't need it at all. That's why I disagreed with Brother Garfield last night.
That's not what
he said. Maybe we need to come up with our own new system, our own new religion. No, or he probably didn't use the word religion. I can't remember the exact word that he used. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but that's why I was like, no. What the hell you think we've been doing ever since we've been on this flipping earth? We've been coming up with one religion after another one religious practice. Oh, I don't agree with what you're doing, so we're going to change this a little bit. We're going to add a little bit of this. Oh, you know what? I'm not feeling what you're doing, so you know what? I'm going to leave that group too. And the next thing you know, like I said yesterday, we got like 5,000 plus ish religions. Religious practices, religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs, whatever you want to flip and call it. Somebody's always not going to agree with whatever it is that you're pushing because you're making stuff up. So they just want to make something up and do it the way that they feel like it should need to be done. And I don't think we need any of that. We just need to roll with the fact, Joe. What can we prove? What can we not prove when it comes to science, man? If we're wrong, hey, that's what I like about science. They'll admit that they're wrong. Hey, you know what? We thought lobotomies was the way. But that shit was wrong. We're not doing this no more. This ain't finna work. But religion and religious beliefs and practices and belief systems, they don't work like that.
CK.
They stay the same. And you know what? It's okay. People gonna do what they want to do.
Okay.
At the end of the day.
CK.
Yes, Brother Sean.
All right. So first off, I just want to say that what Kofi said yesterday about not teaching his kids certain things are things that he already had done presentations on our channel. That referring to circumcision, female circumcision, and some other things that go on into the particular practice based on the research. What I think your misconception is that when we present information regarding African culture in its entirety. What we do is bring out the things that we solely do not agree with. But this is the argument that has been made. Who are you to tell these people about their cultural traditions that they practice and say that they are wrong? That argument was made and had before among two people, and pretty much watching it. Now, to elaborate on what he specifically was, stating in that he is not making it a religion. This is the problem that I have when we are trying to define certain things by Western ideology, is that it limits the African, and it brings the African down to another person's level, i.e. the European, because these are two different, we are and will always be two different people. One is full of Hellenization, the other one is not. I'm not trying to romanticize anything. I'm just basically giving you just a quick, brief synopsis. As far as Africa go, like I said in the chat, I'm always going to defend Africa against damn near everybody. I don't care what side of the table you sit on. I'm going to defend it against whoever. And the reason being is because the same rigor, attitude, and or conversation that I may convey, or I may have conveyed toward Double X yesterday, I'm going to have that same attitude and rigor and everything else with people that I claim are super pseudo and commercializing African culture, and are part of the reason why some people make the mistake and want to group these systems up and then bringing them up to a level in which they have not reached in all of humanity. Now, the reason that I say that is if we want to be scientific, which is what we all inspire to be. When we look at evolution, so to say, the earliest hominids, or now I'm going to say the earliest Homo sapiens sapien, in order for them to understand their natural world, they had to do some things differently when they went out to observe the things around them in order to survive. They understood that there was something that was greater than they were out there while they were wandering around trying to gain a better understanding of who they were as a Homo sapiens sapien. And then the person across from them was as a Homo sapiens sapien. And then from that, you start getting all these other things that transpired. So if you can't go into these systems and find some type of related scientific evidence that you can pull from that to learn from, then I understand some people are limited to such. But there is not only science. This is why I always say this. Without the earliest hominids or Homo sapiens sapiens wandering around doing what they're doing and developing over periods of times of hundreds of thousands of years, all the way up into modern day, we can't really say that somebody else would have went ahead and developed some of these other sciences that are present today. Now, that's not to take away from the other cultures, and I'm not saying everything comes from Africa, because I am steadfast in arguing against hyperdiffusionists. So I probably need to shut up a little bit, but
no, keep talking. I'm loving what you're saying. I'm loving.
We have these conversations about Africa, and then we want to compare them to Indo-Europeans, Greco-Romans, the Arabs. When we do that, we limit the African genius and what actually took place in helping people understand simple things. It's like, how are we going to learn how to, they had a method for learning how to fish. They had a method for learning how to build a hut. They had a method for learning how to cook. They had a method for all of these things that wasn't natural to them. They had to develop through testing, right? So they would observe, and this is what people fail to realize when we talk about the earliest Homo sapiens, they were very observant and they had to test damn near everything in order for them to figure out what they could and could not do in this world that they never knew of or anything like that. So everything was basically centered around a method. Now, in order to explain that method, this is where the mythos come in. This is where describing nature comes in. We can't take that understanding away from it because, like other people believe or their belief systems and things of that nature, they don't go into explaining the natural world like the African goes in and explains the African world. There's plenty of literature on that. There's plenty of there's plenty of unlearned literature that we don't have some people don't have at their fingertips. And, and that all comes from being entrenched in the traditions and learning these things. But us in America, we really are handicapped because we're trying to recreate. And I think when people say, yeah, y'all said this the other day, we need to create our own thing or whatever. But what we have and is this fad of recreation of something that didn't really need to be remixed and recreated. And that's part of the problem. So I can understand how you would feel, we don't need any of it. We need to get rid of everything. We just need to stick to science. But then you would have people that will argue with you that, are you making science a religion at that point, that you're saying that nothing else even matters? Science is the only way. No, science. When Unc says science is undefeated, is because, that's where he stands on things. But people will argue with Unc and say that he's making a religion out of science. And then I would argue with them people that he's not making it a religion, because science requires you to do two things. It requires you to know and it requires you to do. And in order to do something, it goes back to those traditions that I mentioned earlier, where you had to observe nature and you had to test things. You have to recreate these things and try to falsify that which, somebody deemed is non-falsifiable or whatever. Is that how you seek to get to the truth? Or Wujawa would say that, you have evidence and then math provides proof. So when you, and I'm all over the place, but to sum it up to sum it up in the short and skinny.
You got the last word there, bro. Keep going. You got the last word. I'm out. Go ahead.
But to sum it up, man, we have to really look at what these traditions did culturally. And we do know that we can find some good in everything and we can find some bad in everything. But what are we drawing from to inspire us to be even better is what needs to be, led in the actual discussion. When people make these, when they taunt these traditionalist systems and then they say, throw them in the garbage, they're all bullshit, and then we don't need them at all, and things of that nature, when they try to antagonize what our ancestors did, then that is the bigger problem that I have. I have no problem with what you're saying. Personally, CK, I have no problem with what you're saying personally. I think that what you witnessed yesterday was something a little bit bigger than what you may have witnessed before. But, I'm going to leave it at that note. You know what I'm saying? We'll elaborate on that one day down the road, but this was a good show.
You're on fire. I loved everything you said. Definitely. Yeah. I just wanted to say one thing real quick. I ain't gonna be long-winded like maybe.
No, you won't, because it's 12:23. We over time. No, you will not. Hell no.
Nah, just a minute or two.
You got a minute. I'm gonna put you on the clock too.
He's gonna put you on the clock.
Yeah, I gotta put you on the clock.
I know you had mentioned something at the beginning of your monologue where you were saying that who are you to tell them that, tell them, which I mean, I think them you're referring to as the Africans, their culture. And my response to that is never did. The little bit that I do know about African traditions and what they believe, I've been exposed to that from watching documentaries where they were interviewing the people themselves and they were explaining what they believe. And that's why I came to the conclusion that it's a belief system. You know what I mean? Is it 100% like what the Western religions are? No. That's why I kind of compared what they believe down there more like what the Greeks were doing, what the Romans were doing, more like what the Native Americans were doing, probably even more like the Native Americans because they had more of a spiritual system. Another thing, boom, the Africans, you were saying that the Africans are different people. I understand, yeah, the Africans, they're diverse. You know what I mean? They have the most diverse DNA, you know, in everything, art, food, clothing, everything. But at the end of the day, just how when we go to evolution, everything started in Africa. So a lot of that stuff that we're trying to make it seem like only we were doing, it had to come out somehow, some way. Them same people that migrated out, they had to retain some of that. So we couldn't be the only ones. And I know you had mentioned before that you're saying that, hey, Africa didn't do everything. So I don't want to say that. And then for the last point, I know you were saying that Africans observe nature. And I'm pretty sure that the Native Americans, they were the same way as well. They were very observant of nature too. You know, and I really like all the points that you touched on and everything like that. And I hope that people, you know, ain't taking it personal, the direction that I was kind of going on with the whole, I guess you would probably call it my perspective, but I'm just calling it like the facts. As an atheist, lack of belief in religions, lack of belief in, well, not really religions, but lack of belief in a deity. And a lot of them, they have deities. So I just put them all under the same umbrella. If you have deities that you're worshiping, that you're following, that you believe that'll do X, Y, and Z for you, you're all a religion to me. You're all a belief system. And not saying we can't learn from it. And I like documentaries. I think we should definitely have books and museums, all that good stuff. But, you know, science has kind of moved beyond those spiritual systems. Probably for the best.
Yeah. All right.
Hopefully I wasn't too long-winded.
Nah, you did your thing, yo. You straight. You got it in. Hey, Sean, you want to finish off, yo?
Nah, we just got to continue to study, man. I mean, I would inspire anyone who has taken a certain position, and this is what we originally. This is what I was encouraging Double X to do, is to actually study, go into Africa and study some works, like entrench yourself into knowing a little bit more about it so that you actually can elaborate more. The same thing what Garfield was trying to tell him last night, because I have seen Garfield take a different approach, because he was just as stubborn about that whole conversation. He was so rejective of things from a different perspective. So I think that what he's doing now, his approach in it all, is may pay dividends. I'm not saying that, you know, he's entrenched in a particular culture and he's studying this particular thing to the core and so on and so forth, but just knowing a little bit to gain understanding, because I think that what people misunderstand is that the community and the fact of providing what Unc always argues, food, clothing, and shelter, and understanding nature, these principles and understandings of everything that we need to survive in our natural world, these things were essential and have always been essential since the earliest Homo sapiens sapiens. So to say throw, you know, all of it away, then you would lose so much knowledge and so much information and so much of who you are, by dumping it in the trash and flushing it down the toilet, that then you would be made over some, Eurocentric crazy food. But like you said, the Native Americans, we never knew them originally, but yes, I would agree with you. They had to understand their natural world, just like many other people who came out of Africa and populated other parts of the world. They took with them certain aspects of what they learned when they left out of Africa, and then they integrated it into the areas where they populated the earth to gain a better understanding. So it's all a cohesive understanding that needs to be elaborated on as far as our research. And I just want everybody to read, man. I mean, open up a book, take a little time out and understand who you really are. That's it.
Well, okay. All right. So you got the last word on that, man. Look, man, we out of here, man. It's been a day. All right. Oh, where you at, Tahuti? Let me just speak to my man. Let me shout out brother Tahuti, man. The pseudo purge. Hey, Tahuti.
Oh, I got one little thing I kind of want to bring up. Off topic.
Hold on 1 second, sis. Tahuti.
Oh, my bad. Tahuti said, I ain't talking to you.
Yeah.
Hey, Hotep, can y'all hear me?
I can hear you now. What's good, man?
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Man, my connection probably bad. Oh, okay.
Trying to hit. Hey, Tahuti. You hear me? I don't know what it is. Hey, sis, I can hear you, right?
Yeah, I can hear all of y'all. Tahuti said something, then he stopped.
Hold up, Ken.
Yeah, you gotta make.
No, that was me.
What?
That's what y'all.
Oh, my bad. Jesus.
Christ. Don't forget the Christ. When you say Jesus, you gotta say
Tahuti a panelist.
He ain't a panelist?
No, he just in here. He in the hangout. You ain't open up his mic.
Yeah, yo.
Oh. So y'all about to end, and y'all got on the juicy topic about the deities and religion and spirituality, throwing things out in the garbage or not and stuff like that. That's
enough.
Yeah, we need to have a show on that, because I missed that. I missed that conversation. We need to have a show on that because there's a lot of things that need to be said. And y'all probably said it, but I'm just coming back in.
I ain't saying the way you say it. I know by the time you get finished.
No, listen, because listen, this is something
that I already know how you do, yo.
This is something I focus on because it's a critical issue. It's a critical issue that needs to be discussed because people got a misconception about a lot of things, and it comes out in what people are saying and whatnot. So I guess y'all got to end now, but it needs to be discussed because
y'all hear me? Yeah, we hear you now.
Okay.
When that next video coming out?
Man, I was working on something today, but I had to stop it, so it'll be out soon. I'm gonna do something.
Man, you gotta catch the ultimate. Did you look at the show?
I'm gonna do some of that joint last night.
You got to, yo. Definitely made the pseudo purge, yo. Damn.
Yeah, pseudo purge is popping. Purge the pseudos up out of here real quick.
Listen, I must have missed something. Y'all talking about something that I'm oblivious to. What happened?
Oh, you missed that, Wu Jia? What was, man? You fight against a super duper pseudo.
No, I must have been. I don't know.
Your man, the Black Lotus Society of pseudos.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you need to get unified.
I tried to get that out of my head so bad that I forgot it even took place.
I might go live on that tomorrow.
Yeah, man. He had the full pseudo package.
Everything.
Yeah.
From all
everything.
Directions.
I don't think anybody has brain cells left.
Yeah.
Everything.
That was my yearly contribution. That was my philanthropic work. In the community to donate some cells to that.
Sacrifice yourself with y'all. You had to take one for the team.
Yeah, I had to take one for the team on that one last night. But hey, when y'all set up a conversation talking about spirituality, religion, science, whether superstition is still crept in our inheritance of it as African Americans, get into these ATRs and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm trying to be a part of that conversation because that's an important discussion to have, especially in light of what people talk about on social media. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to cut it short because I'm not standing on this joint at 5 o'clock in the morning video. I'm not.
Yeah, I gotta catch up on some sleep myself.
Yeah. Hey, but I appreciate your work, Tahuti. I'm gonna take it at Friday. So we ain't never figured out where the shoes went. None of that, right?
Man, we talk about that offline, man, off the air.
All right, no, but I want to make sure you get that. I'm just gonna go ahead and just
yeah. Yeah, the respect go both ways, We all got the same goal, working towards the same goal.
Yeah, damn right. To get rid of the pseudos, or at least bring them out, let them know. And they don't want us to talk about it.
Educate the babies. Yep.
Hey, when you get a chance, give me a call. You got the number, right?
Hit me on the messenger.
All right. See, hit me real quick. I got like 1 million people trying to hit me, yo. Right now, right. Pop up. It'd be crazy. People don't even know. Trying to sell me shit. That should be crazy. Yo, hit me right now.
I was gonna ask Tahuti, what editing software do you use?
That's top secret. That's top secret right there.
Kill you.
Well, I was gonna make a recommendation for a free one.
Nah, but it ain't top secret. I use what's that joint called? Final X Pro.
Yeah, I was gonna say give Shotcut a try. It's open source.
Nah, I don't trust them free joints. I'm good.
Trust me, like they have like top-notch developers, like they just do it for free in their spare time. That they made that program some years ago, and they've been adding updates to it. Works really
What's it
well.
called?
Shotcut.
Send it to me, sis.
Like shot with a gun.
Okay, all right. I'll look it up. Appreciate that. I'll look it up.
Shotgun. Yeah, send it to me, sis. Go ahead, Tahuti. Hit me in the Facebook real quick. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm looking for you now. I got like 1,000
right. You see
joints too.
See what I'm saying? See who
I see. I got you.
Let's see who get the who first. Let me see.
Use a Shotcut for the video editing, and then you can use what's the name of the audio program? Pull it up. All right.
I make my videos real quick. What I work with now, I'll be zooming through it. So
yeah, because
I ain't trying to learn nothing new for real.
It's not that hard. It took me like maybe.
Hey, Final Cut Pro that's where it's at. So Judy straight.
Oh man.
You see me?
Yeah, I see you. Lock that in, yo.
Okay.
Audacity.
Yeah, lock that in. When you get up tomorrow, hit me up.
No doubt.
Interesting. Pressure is on, goddamn it. We can put the pressure full court.
Full court.
Yeah, they start.
You gotta switch it up sometimes to half court trap.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. They starting to fall out the tree. Yes, indeed. Starting to mess up some of the money. Now it's getting serious. Yep. But yeah, yo, look. I appreciate everybody coming through, man. Hey, I appreciate the work you be putting in, Tahuti. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you, Ahisi. Uja, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, man. And specifically, CK the poet. You held it down tonight. I appreciate that, right? I seen your flow. I was checking it, you know what I'm saying? Shook a little feathers. You know how you do.
Oh, yeah. I don't be trying to hurt feelings, but I seem to.
Everybody get a little, but I mean, that's part of the development as African people, man. And if we all thought the same way, we wouldn't make it as a people. Remember,
I think that's
facts
differently. That's how we can
come
up with better stuff.
Diversity. you know what I'm saying, is the key to life, man. Black African Power, man. Appreciate all the families. Y'all know what it is, man. And we out. Mm-hmm.